Hi everybody, and welcome back to Raccoon Creek Homestead. Today we are talking about everybody's winter favorite, seeds. We have here in Indiana, it's currently snowing. It's 23 degrees. We're stuck in the house. We really can't do anything, but we can shop online for seeds because if you are anything like me, I have that issue of I can't have enough seeds. So I have different ways to store them, and then some of the ones that I'm kind of planning on for this year's garden. And if you haven't bought your seeds, just kind of keep in mind that some are kind of in between where they got like that winter rush where everyone is buying them, and a lot of them will get refilled. Like I know in my gardener, they're sold out of a lot, but they'll refill them and update them as they get more in. Which, speaking of in my gardener, I got if you've never shopped at In My Gardener, and I have no affiliates with any of these, I just really like them. Their seeds are all $2, and you may not get as many, but it's pretty comparable to the bigger ones like Baker Creek, and I'll kind of get to that. But we've got Black from Tula, Catnip, Great White Tomato, Cherokee Purple, and a lot of these I have, and I'm just either really low or out. I also set up at our farmer's market here locally, and I sell plant starts. So part of it, like I know for Kellogg's breakfast, I think I only had like 4 left, and this is one of my favorites. And I'm gonna butcher it, and I blame Jess from Roots and Refuge. Dr. Witches, I don't know how to say it, and in my head now I say it how she said it originally. So we're just gonna roll with it. I also have an arrow garden, so I got a couple smaller, so like the orange currant tomato. Although I heard that one gets really big, but they're so little. Or maybe it's a spoon tomato. Could be either one or both. I got a 42-day tomato. The Mexican sour gherkins or cucamelons. These are amazing. If you've never had them, they are so good. If you don't like how like cherry tomatoes kind of like bust in your mouth, that's kind of the same thing. But it's like a little lemony, cucumbery, just little snack, and me and my son fought over them. They do take a while to kind of get going though. So if you are someone that likes to start seeds early, or you really just want to get that jump start, this is a good one to do because it takes forever and it likes heat. So on the back says 3 to 4 weeks before last frost. I would put this in like the 6 to 8 week just because it takes a while. But totally worth it. Totally worth it. I also got Champagne Bubbles tomato. That's a new one. I'm not a big beet person, but I got the I'm not gonna try to say it, so I'll put the name on the screen. I don't typically like beets, but we're gonna try another one. I'm gonna try to pickle some, or something where it's not just like eating a beet. I got the Rattlesnake Beans, and then I got a Red Spike Amaranth. I got a Plume Celosia. I have a Handy Helper, and I got the Picote Cosmos. And if you can't afford the more expensive seeds, or you know, a couple dollars a pack, don't let that stop you from gardening. And don't write off the dollar store seed packs. The 4 for $1 seeds are just as good. You may not get as many, but I have never been disappointed in these. So for 4 for $1, that's 25 cents a pack. And I mean, they've got a decent amount. I got some Snapdragons. I got giant cactus mixed zinnias. I love zinnias. I'm a sucker for some zinnias. I planted dwarf ones last year because I didn't realize, I didn't start any seeds last year because we were living with my in-laws. I did not pay attention. And all I got was dwarf. And I really like cut ones. I like to put them in vases and have them on the table. So yeah, you're gonna see a ton, like a ton of zinnias this year because I love them. But kind of back to what else I got. They have different beans. They have, I mean, more than just flowers. I also got some beefsteak tomatoes. And these are gonna be the ones that, a big set that I sell at our farmer's market. Something that I've learned in the past from selling starts is a lot of people don't know the more heirloom brands. They don't know, I mean, they're starting to know some. Like the Purple Cherokee is one I think that people are getting to know the name of. Black from Tula a little bit, Great White, Beefsteak. Everybody's like, I want beefsteak tomatoes. And I'm like, okay, like here's a big rainbow. And they're like, I don't know what that is. I just want a beefsteak. And it's like, it kind of, it's a big tomato. Like it's a meaty tomato. And it's just easier to say, here's your beefsteak tomato. So these are just for the farmer's market. This year too, I have, I think I'm just going to try a couple, 2 or 3 of all of the different tomatoes that I have. Do taste tests, kind of really keep track. And I say we're gonna try really hard to see which one produces really well, which one, you know, date of the first tomato, date of the last tomato, and just kind of see which one produces best. We're gonna do which ones taste better, kind of a seedy versus meaty ratio. Just to kind of see which ones, because I don't want to plant, I mean, just right here, if we don't count the beefsteak ones and we only count, oh, those are cherry tomatoes, but I mean, okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, I got 3 cherry tomatoes and 5 regular ones just in my gardener order. I'll show you here in a second my other ones that I already had. No judging. But I have a lot, and I don't want to have to try to start 20 different types of tomatoes every year. I want to narrow it down to, you know, maybe 4, 5, 6 of the ones that I really, really like, and then the other ones I'll just take the seeds, start them, sell them at the farmer's market, maybe grow them just to get them to kind of lower, and then just instead of buying 10 different types, I'll just buy the ones that I like. That being said, look what came in the mail today. You know it's a good day when the Baker Creek one comes in. Which it's not even Saturday. The tracking said Saturday and it's only Thursday. So I was super, super surprised when this came in the mail today. So we are gonna unbox it, unenvelope it. We're gonna open it together. Huh? That sound good? And then you can see which freebie ones. So if you don't know too, in my gardener past, I think like $10, $12 or so, it's free shipping on seed packets. Baker Creek is free shipping for once you spend $10, you get a free seed pack. And then if you spend $35, you get a free seed pack. And we're not going to say what I actually spent, but I spent $35. Actually, I think I spent exactly like $37 or something crazy. It was an even amount, which was kind of odd. Hey! I know. And they always put the little slip in there. Okay, so sorry about that. My mother-in-law stopped by, so we visited for a little bit. I have not looked, but here we go. Okay, so this is what I got from Baker Creek. And this is, like I said, not my first order. We're not going to say what I spent at Baker Creek, but here we go. So we got the African Blue Disc, which I thought was super, super pretty. Oh, I'm sorry. My assistant is back. One of the free varieties that I got was the St. Valerie Carrot. I'm super excited about this one. The Strawberry Blonde Calendula. Apricot Lemonade Cosmos.
Hey!
Aurora says hey. The Cherokee Sunset Rudbeckia. This is more commonly known as a Black-Eyed Susan. The Mother of Pearl Poppy. And with poppies, I don't know if it's all of them. I know the ones that I've had in the past. Yeah, it doesn't say. A lot of them, I put them in the freezer. That way that they get that cold stratification. That way they bloom or grow, really. But I got the Mother of Pearl Poppy. And the Falling in Love Poppy. I really like poppies. And there aren't any on this property, so we're going to put them there. And the seeds are like super, super tiny. Usually they put them in like a itty bitty bag in this. But if you get them, I'm not really sure. So when you open them with care. That way teeny tiny little seeds don't fly everywhere. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I also got Quinoa Brightest Brilliant. This one really, I'm just growing it more or less for my chickens. I'm just going to put it out there and along the fence and let them have at it. My other friend, they must know that I was going for poppies this year. Rainbow Mix California Poppy. Yeah, I don't see where this says that they need cold stratification. Just trust me, throw them in the freezer or put them outside before like a frost hits, and you'll be all right. And then I got a couple peppers. Now, I've had banana peppers before, and I think when they were grown, the ones that we grew, I am going to assume were cross-pollinated with a hot pepper. We grew them, and my son's like, "Hey, Mom, is this hot?" And I said, "No, it's just a banana pepper. Like, maybe a little, but nothing crazy." It's freaking hot. Anyway, so he's coming in like, I need milk. And I'm like, it's not bad. Like, anyway, he's like, "You taste it." And I did. Dude, it was hot. So we're going to try banana peppers again. Because we're weenies in the hopes that these don't burn our faces off. Because, I mean, it was warm. And then I also got the Albino Bull-Nosed Pepper, which is basically a white bell pepper. I just thought that they were pretty and a little different. So we're going to try those. And then this one, it's just, I'm growing it because it's pretty. The Pippin's Golden Honey Pepper. It's a sweet pepper. And I think I'm actually going to use this one as an edible landscape. Because we, like the whole front of our house, it's just, there's kind of grass, but it's a lot of mud. So we're planning on landscaping this spring. And I thought it would be a really pretty pop of color and to actually get to use it instead of it just being... Like, I don't want a grass front yard. I'd like it to actually have some medicinal herbs and usable plants where it's not just, oh, that's really pretty. I kind of wanted a dual purpose. So I thought that those peppers would be really, really pretty. And that's kind of really, I got a lot of flowers. This year we are going to try and do a little bit more flowers. I really like them for the table. I think last year the fact that all I had was dwarf was probably a big reason why I'm going this route. And also at the farmer's market, just to be able to brighten people's day with bouquets. We have a really little farmer's market. It's nothing crazy. And I could probably tell you the handful of people that come every week. And I just think that they would really enjoy just $5, $10 bouquets. Nothing crazy, but I really just want them for my table. So it's going to be my selfish thing that I plant this year. I have one other order coming from Baker Creek. It's only got like 3 seed packs in it. And it was kind of a spur of the moment, but I saw it and I was like, it's a sign. So on Facebook like a week ago, I saw that somebody had posted Dad's Sunset Tomato, And my dad was the one that got me interested in gardening when I was a little kid. And tomatoes were always his favorite. And he passed away in July. So I thought that it would be really nice to just have that tomato just to kind of remind me of my dad. I do not plan to sell it at our farmer's market. I will probably grow it every year just because of its name. Hi. I know. Do you know that? Am I talking about Papa?
Huh?
Yeah. Do you miss him? Yeah, I know. It's they were best friends and got into a lot of shenanigans together. But that is neither here nor there. But I'm just gonna do that one for him, and hopefully it will do well, and it'll be really tasty. That sound good?
Oh!
Good. Okay. So on a less somber subject, I said that I would show how I organize my seeds. And I keep my flowers and my herbs in a photo album that has 4x6 envelopes or holes where you can just put the seeds in. But I've got all my flowers, and I tried to group them together, like the calendulas together. This isn't calendula, but. And then in the back, I have the section. It's kind of awkward to turn the pages, but I've got flowers. And then I'm doing this to try not to knock over my drink. And then just basic herbs. And that's just because, like, I plant those a little bit differently. I have around my chicken coop, like the cement blocks, and I plant herbs in the holes. Now, it was a good idea, but I did not realize, I guess, that the chickens would be able to reach and literally dig up the plants. So we had to get, like, super little fencing so they could only eat the leaves. Because that was fine. That was why they were there, was so they could snack on, like, leaves and kind of prune them for me. I did not take into consideration the fact that they would completely uproot the plant. Just something to think about. I also have some of my bigger seeds, and like the ones that I've gotten ready to take to the farmer's market. Like, I'll sell these little packs of seeds for, and there's a lot in there. Like, that's dill. And there's a ton in there. Like, that's probably enough for, like, the rest of your life if you let yours go to seed. But I sell those at the farmer's market for, like, 50 cents. Can I help you? No kisses for Mom. But I've got that. I have glass gem corn. It's all just stuff that I've harvested the seeds from. And then I also have all my beans because they're so thick and they take up so much room. So they're just in this little Dollar Tree shoebox. And then I also have just like the empty ones that as I seed save, like I've got this one and it's dill and it's mine that I keep. But I've just got the little ones. The ones that I've gotten in trades are in here too, like just the beans. And then my actual vegetables. And I swear everybody has these now. But I have the photo boxes that you can get from Michael's or Walmart. They're $15. If you go to Michael's and they're $30, or Amazon and they're $30, you can get them for $15. At least you can around here. So don't pay $30. Wait for them to go on sale. And then each one, I've got the warm crops in the warm colors and the cool crops in the cool colors. Like these are radishes and beets. And I want to get another one so that I can really like split them up. Mainly tomatoes is a big one. And then not so much melons, but one of these has like a bunch of miscellaneous, and I'd really like to get those a little bit more itemized. I'm an organizer that likes to have everything like have their own. So like the fact that there are beets and radishes together. I'm not a fan. There are snap peas and like regular peas in the same ones. Like I have yeah, I guess they're all peas, but like they're just, I don't know. Maybe it's just an OCD thing. But yeah, I have a lot of, oh, it was this one. It's got all the brassicas. I'd like to have cabbage in its own, and broccoli in its own, and Brussels sprouts in its own. And then like I would like for tomatoes to have like by the different color, because that's just how extra that I am. But speaking of tomatoes, I said that I wanted to kind of condense and see what I like. And some of these are multiple, but these are just my tomato seeds. And granted, this is more than a year's worth. And, oh, I do have more beefsteak. Those are from last year, or the year before. But some of these, they don't have very many in them. And I can tell you now, some of my favorite ones, Paul Robeson is fantastic. The Great White is fantastic, because like that's a double that I have another one.
Hey.
Hey. Kellogg's Breakfast is fantastic. The Amish paste is my favorite paste. Nothing against Roma's, but I feel like the Amish paste get bigger. The Dr. Witches, I don't know how to say it, but that's one of my favorites. But I got a lot of new ones this year too. Purple Cherokee is a good one. But yeah, I have a lot of doubles, and a lot of it is just, I'm going to get rid of the ones that have, you know, a handful. Like for example, like maybe I'm just making excuses for myself. Where did it go? Where did, there it is. Tradewinds fruit is also a good one. Oh, and then I got this, and it's just marked tomato. I don't know what kind they are. We're gonna grow those this year too. And again, it's gonna be just more or less to kind of to condense and get rid of them. And I thought about combining packets, but I want to use this older seeds first. So just because the seeds like on the back say, or wherever it says like packed for, like this one is packed for 2020. It's 2022. These will still grow. I can still use these, and I'm going to. The germination rate can go down a little bit, but in my gardener, came across some seeds a couple years ago, and they were 80 something years old, and he planted them and they grew, and he actually this year you could buy, they were really limited, and I didn't go for it because like I said, I've got plenty. That'll probably be maybe like next year, the year before, once I've kind of, like I said, I want to get through some of my seeds before getting any more of anything new. But, and they grew, and like I said, the germination rate may not be as good, but they're still good. I know. Some of these I got from, and I actually have a video of it on my YouTube page of unboxing the mystery box from In My Gardener, and it was a bunch of seeds. I think it was like 30 seed packs for $15, and they were packed for 2021. And they'll grow. They'll be just fine. I think I've got some that are even older, maybe a couple years from that. I didn't really get into seed starting until a couple years ago, but I'm sure I've still got some from then. And they'll grow. Also, don't spend extra on a seed pack that says non-GMO if the exact same thing is right next to it and just not labeled that. They are all non-GMO. Seed companies can't sell GMO seeds to us. I'm going to use normal loosely, but on us normal folk. It's on a more commercial level, and there's a ton of paperwork, and there's a big list on the requirements and the legalities to buy GMO seeds. So, like this one, and it says non-GMO on the back, but just because it doesn't say non-GMO like really big in the front, it's non-GMO. Everything in this case, without me checking, is non-GMO. So don't spend an extra $1 or 50 cents on a seed pack just because it says that, because they're all that way. Let's see, we covered the don't start them too early. Check your last frost date. And the difference between a last frost date and the zone you're in, the zone that you're in is like your average, growing time. So where I am, I'm like right borderline of 5B and 6A, if I remember right, West Central Indiana. And the only reason that matters is you'll look up your estimated last frost date and then the following estimated first frost date. You'll count the days in between, and that's your average harvest. So like these peppers, and it's gonna make a liar out of me. They usually say, we'll find a different one. They will usually say how many days it takes until, okay, so days until maturity is 58 days. So if you have a season that's 120 days, you could easily plant these and then 4 weeks later plant another round or succession sow them. And you can harvest these in different ways and you'll have plenty of time. But if you only have 20 days left until your estimated last frost date, I wouldn't plant these beans because they're not going to be ready in time. So that's what that is. Your zone has nothing to do with your estimated last frost date. So don't let that confuse you. Am I missing anything? Plant things that start with a P. A pepper. Okay. Aurora says don't forget to plant peppers. Anything else? That's it? Okay. I completely guessed at that. We're just going to assume that she says peppers, but there's also peppers right there. So, yeah. We like to play in the mud, don't we? Aurora likes to play in the creek whenever, and by creek I mean it's like this. I think last time it wasn't very deep, and man, she got muddy when we were doing garden prep last time. I just took her in, undressed her, and sprayed her off in the shower because she was such a hot mess. But I think that's all that I have for today. When I actually go to start my seeds, and like I said, I'll probably start some, I don't know, in about a month. I'm going to tell myself a month, although I'm usually late. But we're going to aim for a month, and I'll start my seeds, and I will do a video on seed starting. And I think everybody kind of does theirs differently, but we're going to wing it. And I'm going to try to talk Jeremy into letting me take over a section of the living room to put like a 3-tier shelf so I can actually put like lights up and heat mats. Just that way they're not, because if not, I'm going to take over the island, and I know it's going to drive all of us nuts. But I'm seed starting this year because I have all these seeds, and I really enjoy it. And then I get exactly what I want, because I'm telling you now, you are not going to find this pepper at your big box stores. And that's one thing that I really like. A couple more seed companies that I've used are, like I said, I really like in my gardener. I really like Baker Creek. The ones at the dollar store, Walmart, those are all great. There's also Johnny Seeds. That's a really good one. You can buy in bulk there too. So if you're planning on doing like, oh, I already know that I really like this one tomato and this one pepper, and I just want a bunch of those, Johnny's is a good one for that. Another good one is Hudson Valley Seed. They are fantastic, and they actually have art packs, which I think are super cute. And I know I have one in with my cucumber melon. Yeah, I had some before too. Like this one is the Mexican sour gherkins, and on the inside, so they come in this pretty art pack. Hi, baby. And it actually has like the story, because they are and it's all certified organic. And then the seeds come in this little, but they're all heirloom seeds, and it actually has like the story of where it came from. And like, you know, most charmingly known as a mouse melon. But it's got some extra info, and then I like that they put, it's not gonna focus, but it tells you how many seeds are in here, how many days, how to plant them, the timing. I mean, I really like them. So Hudson Valley is another good one, and I don't have any affiliation to any of these. I've just ordered seeds from them before, and I really like them. I think that's really all I've ever ordered from or bought from. I know that in the beginning I got a lot from like Walmart and Lowe's, and then it was like watching YouTube, you fall in love. It's like, oh, that's really pretty, or oh, I want to taste that one, or you know, you kind of branch out. So this year is my 2 years ago when I started seeds, it was my buying them all to try, and I didn't pay a whole lot of attention because I was so excited. This year is going to be more the bringing it back to a reasonable amount. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I am going to put my seeds away, and I will see you all on the next video. Probably garden related. It'll be seed starting. I might do one on my arrow garden, which I am so in love with. Although I warn you, if you do ever buy one, super suggest it, but they're addicting. Like, it's like a potato chip. You can't have just one. I was given one for Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the one before, and now I have 3. I have like the little 3-cell pod one and 2 9s, which I love, and it really makes growing where you have a really cold winter a little more manageable. I said I got the 3rd one first to fight my seasonal depression. I mean, that was my story, and I really do think it helped. Between the fact of just having something green and growing, and to be around like the lights that mimic the sunlight, I'm gonna chalk it up as a win. In addition to the fact that I'm harvesting lettuce like every day. It may not be enough to have like a big salad, but it's definitely, I mean, if I let it go 3 days, I have a nice salad for lunch. And then I've got cherry tomatoes that are growing. I've got kale in there. I think I'll just do a video on it. Excuse you. So until then, I will see you guys next time.